We are here at the TulipDAO, and I am trading tulips. I'm here with my co-host, Pickle Rick, and the team from Assent DeFi. They are here to discuss their new farm protocol, which is a hybrid of a few different protocols, and I guess you could say taking different functions from multiple protocols to build a kind of unique farming ecosystem. So we're excited to dig in. A lot of our community has already been investing and playing Assent since launch. So it'll be good to get some insight from the team and really learn about what they've been doing. Welcome, Banker Charles. And if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your team, and hopefully your dev can be here by the time we finish this.
Yeah, sounds good. So my name is Alexandros, aka Banker Charles. I am involved in crypto since 2017, and think I started working in crypto in late 2020. I started in DeFi and just worked as an admin on a couple of projects. And I worked my way up from a project called Astronaut on the BSC chain, alongside with my other marketing half, Eric. We started as admin there and we worked our way up. And from there, we became marketing managers. One day, I got a message from a dev that he wanted to start a new project. And yeah, that's basically how Assent Protocol was born. So we have our devs, which are Jerome and Dan. They have been a couple for a long time. They are both from France. I'm from the Netherlands, by the way, and my other marketing half is from the States. So the two devs, they work together on various Ethereum projects. I don't know myself on which ones they were, but they wanted to start a new project, a new protocol, and yeah, so they came with the idea to fork to fork Ohm, to make an Ohm copy, and yeah, so basically what we did is we took the best features from Olympus DAO and we modified the contract a little bit. We removed the rebate system to create ASNT and to introduce Assent Protocol, which I will introduce a little bit more deep later. So that's for the team. Any questions there, guys?
Any questions about the team?
Yeah.
I mean, you can speak for yourself, right? You said you don't know where the other devs have worked, which protocols they did.
No.
That was something I'd be interested in knowing, like their track record, what else they built, something that helps bring confidence to Assent.
Yeah, that would be good to know.
I agree. So basically, this is something they are anonymous, and the main reason for Jerome to be anonymous was that he has kids and he knows that a lot of crazy people are in DeFi, and he wanted to stay anonymous. But from what I've seen so far, we have been in contact for I think at least 7 months. Is they are really trustworthy guys. I KYC'd myself with Rockdog, so I'm the one that actually KYC'd, and I wouldn't have done that if I didn't trust those guys. So for now, everything is still working great. Everything is working how it should.
Did the dev KYC?
No, the devs didn't KYC.
Do you manage the funds?
I do manage the fund. So we have a multi-signature wallet, and actually, Rockdog requires if somebody to have access to the funds. So we have a multi-signature that requires my signature.
And who's in this multi-sig?
It's just my other dev, so it's Jerome, the main Solidity dev.
You and Jerome, then, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. And two-piece multi-sig. So is Jerome the dev you're talking to, trying to get on stage?
No, the front end dev, Dan is the one I'm talking to join us. Jerome is currently on a holiday with his children, and he's just hopping in. He's coding, but he didn't want to take on an AMA, so he asked if Dan could cover it.
Okay, well, to start with, just tell us what Assent is. Introduce and do a little pitch deck to our community.
So I will give a little overview of what has happened so far, and then I will introduce the project. So what has happened so far is the team has been working on Assent for I think around 6 months now. and we just wanted to take it slowly. We want to build everything and focus on each aspect and make focus on it so that we could have the best outcome possible. And we felt that launching on the BSC was the best thing for us we could do. We saw that Vulture Swap, I don't know if I pronounced it correctly, so sorry if my English is a little bit bad here and there, but Vulture Swap raised 2.4 million I think 2 or 3 months ago, just for a farming platform. And what we wanted to do is we wanted Assent Protocol to become an ecosystem for projects and more like a DeFi bank for projects, but also for investors. But we wanted to have huge focus on projects because I see a lot of ecosystems that just focus on themselves and focus on their own token and not much on the projects in their ecosystem. And I think that if the projects in your ecosystem are happy, that you will automatically have happy investors as well. So that's why we wanted to have a focus on the projects. But that aside, we wanted to,
What do you mean about focusing on the projects on the ecosystem? You mean reaching out to other projects, partnerships?
Yeah, so basically, this is what I'm getting to. So initially, we planned to launch on the BSC, and we wanted to host our own race, so our own launch, and we put a hard cap of around 3.1 million, I think, because we wanted to become a stable ecosystem that with very much liquidity at start, and we wanted to have a DEX also. So this didn't work out. The market was completely against us. We run a marketing campaign of I think it was 25K or something. We all put in our own money, and we raised 18K in this sale, which was really really bad.
Yeah.
And we decided that it was necessary to change directions. So I actually hit up someone that I know within the Dark Knight team, and I asked him if he could host our launch. He said, "Yeah, we can host your launch, but we need to launch you guys on Phantom. So you need to alternate your contracts to the Phantom chain, and from there we need to set up the launch, and you need to remove your DEX, obviously."
So that's why you guys launched on Dark Knight. That was one of my questions.
Yeah, exactly. And this is something that was necessary because we reached out to a lot of projects. I actually had contact with Sid from Spirit Swap, and he couldn't arrange anything, although he wanted us to launch our launch with liquidity at Spirit Swap.
Yeah.
But he didn't have a way for us to raise the funds. He didn't want to host the IDO there himself. I also spoke to Owen from
Suki Swap.
Spooky. Yeah, he basically said the same thing. He gave me a couple of contacts and he said, "Guys, you should launch this one." And I hit them up, and I still haven't heard back from them. So I'm still waiting to hear back. And it was around 3-4 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, I hope they can do your IDO, man. Seems like it's a bit late though.
Again?
I hope they can do your IDO, man, but it seems a bit late.
Yeah, so I haven't heard back from them at all. So that's something that was really it was a little bit unfortunate.
So basically, Dark Knight took you in with open arms.
Yeah, so they really wanted to launch us, and they put a hard cap of 150K, and we will be launched by Undead and Astronaut, which was actually funny. They joined the party without me even knowing before. So I got in contact with a lot of guys that I worked with.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't even raise our hard cap. I blame it on the market conditions because we also ran a lot of funds again on the marketing campaign.
Not feeling.
But yeah, so
Some bullish projects did not feel, so don't feel bad about it.
no, it's really difficult. So actually, if I look back, we actually did a pretty fair raise on our own with 18K. If Launchpads only raised 50 or 60K in a big sale. So this is something that was really unfortunate. So eventually you saw it happening at launch. You saw that our token just took a big dump straight after launch because it was an open sale and it wasn't getting filled. So people were probably wary of putting in more money, and they took it out.
Yeah, well, a project that you guys are similar to, the same thing happened was Proto. I think Proto launched at about 50 cents, went all the way to $1, and then dumped down to like 8 cents, and then people started loading up. I mean, I don't think it went that low, But yeah, it seems like a theme in those farming protocols, such as yours.
Yeah. So I think we will go deeper into the specifics. So I will save the dumping and the picking up later. But for now, yeah. So basically, Assent Protocol is aiming to become a bank-like ecosystem with a DEX to provide stable income for our investors. And basically, but why we did it, why we set it up, is that nothing against any project name I'm going to mention here. So because I am a big fan of the projects that I'm actually mentioning. But if you take a look at ApeSwap on the BSC, you see that they are doing really, really well. I'm actually in their project, invested in their project since day one. So literally when they started. And I see that they are having such a huge focus on their own token and on their own community instead of focusing and helping the projects in their ecosystem. I think there's so much just to gain from that if you can focus on those projects.
You mean they're focusing on partnering up and strengthening their position within the ecosystem? Is that what they're doing?
So basically, what we want to be doing is we want to be listing them in our ecosystem because this is what every DEX wants, right? They want to have liquidity from the other projects, not just to create DEX trading revenue from those projects, but we want to raise protocol-owned liquidity for them. And what we see is this is something that is highly beneficial for those projects if they actually own their own liquidity, if
Hodl.
controlled correctly, of course. So this is something that I actually like and the team likes, and this is something that we want to be doing. We want to raise protocol-owned liquidity for those projects, and we want to provide marketing support for them wherever it's needed. And from there, we want to create a full ecosystem of projects that actually backs each other up, because you see so many projects dying left and right, quality projects as well. And that's what we want to be listing. We don't want any shitty meme coins in our ecosystem because it's not helping crypto out in any kind of way, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you guys are gonna do like anyone can list here, or is it gonna require a whitelist to list tokens on your DEX?
No, we definitely require a whitelist. So it's
Okay,
of
so
course
only the cream will rise to the top.
To add a liquidity pair, you have to be whitelisted.
yeah. So basically, that's the plan. I don't know if the DEX or if the devs will be able to code that in. Probably they will, but it won't be possible to just list your project at our DEX.
That, to me, is somebody who's been in crypto for almost 10 years now. That's a big turnoff for me.
Yeah, why is that?
Because the blockchain is permissionless, and your protocol should be as well.
Yeah,
I mean, that's more of an ideological point of view, Farmer.
It is, but I mean, if you want to offer a DEX that can compete, yeah, I mean, in my mind, yeah, you don't want people launching rugs on your protocol. I understand.
exactly.
But even a whitelist isn't going to guarantee anything. It's just going to make you look bad when somebody gets through a whitelist and they end up rugging.
Yeah, that's true. So this is something that we actually took in mind as well. So of course, this isn't here yet because we needed to postpone our DEX, but it's highly likely that we will be doing something like that because, yeah, we don't want to be affiliated with bad projects, and
It's a sensitive thing.
yeah, it's a difficult thing as well.
You don't want to be liable, and that's what you create is liability. If it's permissionless, you don't have that. That's just my take. I'll give you my 2 cents, and I think you should leave it in the hands of your community to vote or something.
Yeah, exactly. So this is actually a big thing. We already had 2 votes without even having our opponent's rights. So every major decision, something like this, will be put up for vote. And we just hope that our community will be educated enough at the time to make these decisions.
Good. There's a really good question from Terp. It looks like you guys took a goose fork and like bashed it in the head and like changed it up a bunch. Can you tell us what the process was and what's changed from a traditional goose fork?
Okay, so here's me trying deaf stuff, right? So
Yeah, I know, man. I told you.
yeah. So don't blame me if there are any small mistakes in my answer. But basically, what we did is we copied the own contracts from Olympus DAO. And for what I know is we removed the crazy rebate system, what eventually killed their project. We wanted to start off with the rebates, but yeah, the devs eventually decided that it would be better without, and to make it more easy and to make it more aligned with our plans. So, but that is for what I know is what has happened, because I don't know shit about contract codes, to be honest. And that is what they told me that has been done. So an ohm fork, and we removed the crazy rebate system.
How does an ohm fork work without the rebate system, though?
Basically just like a normal token, and we copied the contracts from the bonding system. So that is something that I know as well. But yeah, again, this is something I am not really capable of answering. It works as a standard plain token.
Okay, understand. And when you say you want to become a DEX, when can we
Yes.
expect the swapping functions to be online, the liquidity add functions to be online?
Yeah, this is also something that will be put up for vote, because we have 50K in the treasury right now. So in the that which is actually pretty damn good, because I didn't expect it to go that quick. So we have three things going on. We want to launch our APUSD borrowing and lending market, and we asked our community if it was preferred to launch it already with 50K in liquidity, which is not really much, but also not too low to start with. And the community actually decided that they weren't in favor of the proposal, so they wanted to wait on the APUSD borrowing and lending market, which I actually agreed on, because the market is just not it's just not the right time to launch this. So we will wait a little bit till our treasury grows bigger, but we also need to launch our DEX eventually, and we will need a fair amount of liquidity for that, because we need to create trading pairs on the multiple blue chips and stablecoins. And also, we need to provide own liquidity on the Assent token, because our liquidity is locked at Dark Knight. So I don't really want a date on it, because it's up to the community what they vote or what kind of proposal they make for launching the DEX. We also have our locker feature coming up, which actually has nothing to do with the treasury, and that will just come in 2.5 weeks. And I hope the devs will be able to over deliver.
Okay, but it seems to me that you guys have a lot of features: swap, bonding, farms, like a
Yeah.
like
So
a goose fork on
actually,
steroids.
yeah,
How
yeah,
I
man. So actually,
mean, it
yeah.
looks good on
Go on.
paper, but it seems like people are not going to use all of those functionalities. And to be honest, in my opinion, it would probably be best if you focus on a few key functionalities and really make them pop. Because right now, it feels like just a bunch of random features.
Yeah, I totally agree there. So basically, the plan was to start off with our DEX, and this is something we probably didn't take into account as much as we should have done. Because if we would have started with our DEX, we would have had partners inside our DEX already, and the bonding feature wouldn't be a major focus, right? Because the APRs are high at first, so bonding isn't really as attractive, and there's high volatility. Eventually, the bonding becomes very important on its own once the APRs go down, and when people are actually benefiting from a 15% discount on tokens. This is something that we didn't take into account as much as we should have done, I think. And so I agree with you. We should focus on certain aspects. And right now, we just can't focus on what we have going. So the locker features will come, and we will see what that will be bringing. We will run a lot of marketing up to the lockers. But eventually, the DEX is highly necessary, because this is eventually what brings us all together. And we can actually provide other projects with the protocol owned liquidity, which a lot of projects are actually very hyped about. We're already in talks with a lot of projects, but we have nothing to get going, because our DEX isn't live yet. This was all started pre-launch, but yeah, we needed to cut the DEX.
Okay, I understand.
There's a really good question from Azumer. He says, I see that you reduced emission rates based on community feedback. In what way will these changes influence the outlined distribution phase plan, and will there be more changes to the ecosystem based on community and votes? I believe there will be, but go ahead.
Yeah, so we actually want to empower the community, and if they want to create a proposal and people vote in favor of it, the team will explore the possibilities of actually implementing it. So if there is a good proposal, and we will, of course, do this through a vote, but also we will feel in the community what people are thinking and if it's if it's a smart thing to do. Um, about the emission rate, yeah, this is something that actually the people in the community actually suggested, and we put it up for a vote. We took a percentage that we thought was right, to reduce the sell pressure, to lower the APRs a little bit, because we thought that we would get a lot more exposure from the marketing that we have been running. But Bitcoin took a dump, and people weren't just as interested in joining a new protocol at this time, and so the APRs remained very, very high, and the sell pressure remained high with it. Yeah, so we reduced it by 30%. This will have an influence on the distribution phases, because now it will take 30% longer. So it will probably take 1 or 2 months longer to actually reach that maximum cap supply.
Yeah, we are dealing with a similar situation with distribution. Our protocol on Metis, we have a 30-day increased emission phase that just so happens to be running through the bear market. So it's like not as many people are compounding as we want to. There are a lot of people compounding, but still, right?
It's not enough.
Exactly. Yeah,
so just my 2 cents on what has been happening and what's going on. A mistake that we probably made is that we have stablecoin farming right now. No, it's not blue chip farming right now. So people can deposit Red Phantom to earn ASNT, and the APRs are still around 600% or something. And this is what I think actually creates the most sell pressure. So we are looking into this, but yeah, we need to see if we can do anything here.
I highly recommend reducing your stable farms and your phantom farms. Maybe, just readjust those APRs or whatever you have emitting over there a bit, and you'll be in a better spot. Or maybe even get rid of 1 or 2 stable pools, reduce it down to 1 or 2 only. Something like that. I think that you could get it working to a way that it would be okay, as long as you're aware of that right there. That's big. I've made that recommendation to multiple farming platforms, and it went right over their fucking head. So, props.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, this is just my 2 cents. I've been talking to the devs, and they actually prefer having them because they wanted the TVL to go up on the platform. But
yeah,
I don't think
it's
that
gonna go away as soon as it came, man. It's vampire TVL.
Exactly.
It's not gonna be there.
Exactly.
They're just abusing your protocol. You need to let it grow organically over time. Let your TVL grow, and then
100%.
you slowly incentivize those whales to start coming over gently, and that way they don't fuck your ecosystem up. So,
Yeah.
Me
and the farmer were actually arguing about this the day the protocol came out. Like, it was reaching 80 cents, and then the farmer said, "Well, when the stable TVL reaches about 1 million, you're gonna see a big dump." And the next day, the price was like 50% down. Because stable farming is just wrecking it. People are not exposed to your price, like not exposed to your protocol. Yeah, right now it is adjusting, but I was talking about when it was.
Yeah. I know. I made that call for sure that day, and I was like, "You guys might want to take profits and like."
That I did, man.
We can re-enter,
Because when people are not exposed to your prices, your native prices, man, all you do is just be used as cannon fodder for other protocols and other people.
Yeah.
Right now we are surfing whales, so that's actually what we're doing, and that is something that we don't want to be doing. Sorry. And
real quick, the goal is to switch that scenario to where you're using the whales.
Exactly.
So that is how you end up winning, is where you can utilize the whales to support your protocol, and that's the goal, is
Yeah.
get a
So
stable base and get people decent entries so they don't have to dump. And I think right now this buy opportunity that is around here just below 10 cents, I think that an opportunity is arising for people to enter in with new money. And if you guys make a marketing push with these APRs that are there, you'll be doing good. So
yeah, to be honest, I just aped in myself. So I'm actually investing in this project as well because I want to, yeah, have the same feeling as the project when it comes to the project. So I'm not putting a lot of money in, but I want to feel what the project, what the community is feeling. And I just bought back just to see what is going to happen and what are people feeling that are buying right now. And this is something that I think that an opportunity is rising, but we need to be honest here, and we just got to see if this bear market is going to be very difficult for us or not in matters of APRs and constant selling pressure right now, because I think we are almost live for 5 days now, because it's 5 days right now. So we will have to see how deep we go. I expect that we can make changes on a really short time frame, because we made the proposal yesterday on the emission rate, and today it was reduced. So we can alternate quick, and we just want to feel the community vibe on making drastic decisions.
Yeah.
So if we want to get rid of those farms, then we need to feel how the community is feeling about that.
Yeah, you definitely picked a shaky time to launch. That's fair.
Really shaky.
Yeah.
But still, it's a nice challenge, because if we can conquer this, we can conquer everything.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But Bitcoin isn't done. Bitcoin isn't done going down.
To be honest, one of the main reasons why, after looking at the protocol, that I still maintain interest is the communication between you, Charles, and Eric as well within Telegram is fantastic. I mean, yeah, there's problems with the protocol that need to be solved, but the transparency with you guys, I'm not sure about the devs yet, but with you guys alone in the community is what is keeping things going, and it's refreshing to see something like that. There's a lot of miscommunication and silence with a lot of different projects, and you guys have your hearts in the right spot, but you got to focus as well on the project, where if you have to make a hard decision, you got to do it. So
Yeah. So thank you, man. That at first, thank you very much. This is something that we think is very, very important. Eric is from the States, and I'm going to be honest. I think he's actually the fucking nicest guy that I've ever met in all my life. We are calling almost every day, and this guy is just straight to the bone. He's so great, and he says that we should focus on community above anything else, because the community is actually what is creating the project, and what is helping the project with marketing, with surviving, everything. So this is something that we are focusing on. I think that we are not as active on Discord yet as we should be, but yeah, we are getting there, and this is something that people actually like. We have seen that in Astronaut as well. Creating a community should be fun. People should have fun in the community as well. Hosting games, providing information, and transparency is key, man. People don't want to invest in something that the team is not even communicating on what they're doing. So even simple transactions made in the future will be communicated. And yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for those kudos.
Nice to see a little bit of bromance in there.
Yeah, man. It's actually insane, man. We have such a great time together, and we enjoy. We have calls that last up to 2 hours a day, and we're just talking about marketing and strategies. We're actually already talking about real world marketing, so how we can get new people into DeFi, new people into crypto, and yeah, it's just not basically focusing on what's happening right now. We're also looking at the future already.
Okay. Seems like yet another vector of attack for Ascent. Notwithstanding that they have 10 different features, now they're going to have a billboard on Times Avenue. That's what they're saying.
No, man, please no, please no.
So that's what they're gonna waste the money in.
Exactly.
We had yeah, thank God you don't have a billboard in Times Square on your roadmap.
No, man. That I leave that up to the meme coins.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay. There was a question about your NFTs. What's up with those, and what do they do? When are they coming? Can you explain that for us?
Yeah, so this is definitely something for down the road. And we wanted to implement the NFTs in our pre-sale. So we wanted to actually promise people an NFT down the line and get VIP features already into their wallets. So they will be receiving the NFTs later and they receive the benefits from actually being a VIP right now. But we removed that because we didn't want to promise anything without the actual NFTs out. So what we did is we postponed the NFTs completely till later down the road. And what we want to be doing exactly is, I don't know, you guys know Rock Dog, right? I don't know if you're follow them closely, but you see that they have a comic book every week, I think.
What?
Actually, yeah, they have a comic book,
I can't believe it.
and
Rug Doc.
Rug Doc comic book. What are they gonna talk about? DataDAO?
I don't know, man. It's just projects in there, just random stories, and it's fun. But actually,
Stories about protocols that rugged that KYC was in.
they have KYC with them.
I think that would be more sure DeFi, but
By the way,
But-
folks, if you're looking for a real KYC to bring credibility to your project, stop by the TulipDAO. We now provide KYC plus services for your protocol.
oh, did you guys hear that? That the marketing break was so seamless. I almost forgot it was marketing.
Oh, that we paid a hefty amount for that
This felt like
advertisement, though.
a
Sounded like a recorded soundbite, huh?
yes, it did.
Yeah, our commercial is
Yeah, man.
yeah,
It
our
really
commercial
did
is
feel like
perfect.
it didn't have you Discord Premium for a second. Wish I could skip that ad.
Fucking awesome. So yeah, basically, I had this idea way before Rock Dog did this, and this is something that I want to implement now at this project. We have a very funny mascot who's called Assent, and he will be starring in our very own comic book. And we will be releasing other project mascots as well, and we feature them into the comic books, and we will create an NFT line based on that. And this is something that we want to be doing. The NFTs will have utility as well within the protocol, probably most of all for our launchpad. So maybe we create an NFT launchpad where projects can be launched only by people with NFTs. So this is something we're still thinking about, but they will definitely have some utilities. But most of all, I want to have that comic book feature based on the NFTs.
A Cent comic book on Rug Doc based on NFTs.
Yeah, no, it's going to be our own comic book with funny stories and Ascenti living life, coming across other protocol or other projects, mascots. It will
You
be
guys should get
fun.
mascots. I mean, it's all fine and dandy, but you guys look like I honestly thought by looking at your profile pictures that you guys were like a Singaporean project.
Yeah, I
Just the
know, man.
creation art
So
style. And like
we wanted to create some kind of branding, and this is what came out. But eventually, I want my own profile picture up, man. So
yeah, you
just me.
should, man, because
And
my friendly opinion is that it looks kind of ruggy at first sight.
I
It made
I
me
agree. It looks
think about like
a little bit too
I
playful.
invest in this.
Yeah, it looks
Branding
a
is
little
very
bit too
important.
playful. So
Not even
I
that
want my own profile
playful. Is
picture.
it looks like corporate the Fiverr dev type
Corporate
thing.
money stealing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree with you there. I already have some people mention it as well. So yeah, as soon as the other guys are up for putting their own profile pictures up as well, then we will do that.
Okay. Just put your face up.
Exactly.
Charles, if you could, kind of review what is currently being developed behind the scenes And what is coming next as far as, roadmap stuff? What is going to be happening in the next 30 days or so?
All right. So I will try to create a full timeline here. So first thing what I want to be doing is I want us to finish the talks with the devs, so within the core team, about removing those non-native farms. This is something that is high priority for me,
Hell yeah.
and yeah, so I want this I want this to be taken care of. Also, we want to create a proposal of using 10K of the treasury so far for marketing. So we will post every piece of marketing that we're doing in the pricing. We will just communicate it with the community, because this is basically community money, and we just need the money right now because we don't want to be hard selling tokens into liquidity to get marketing funds, because at this pace, that's just not sustainable for the project. We still have some funds left, but yeah, we need to make a good marketing push. We have some community members already proposed this, so this is something we will be talking over, and we will make a proposal probably tomorrow or the day after. From there, I think that I already mentioned it, but in 2.5 weeks, our locking feature is scheduled. So basically, what this will be doing is this will actually create less circulation supply for ASNT, because people will be locking inside those locking farms, and from there will be stable coin farming as well. So people will be able to take their LCKS Assent, so locked and staked Assent, which is also a receipt token for staked Assent, and yeah, people will be able to deposit them into exclusive pools to earn Craft Phantom or Bitcoin or whatever. So this will probably be coming in 2.5 weeks, but I really, really hope that devs will be able to over deliver and deliver it in 1.5 week or 2 weeks. But this is something that is up to the devs. And yeah, as I said, I don't have any coding experience, so I don't know how difficult it is to code.
A lock mechanism.
Yeah, it's not just a lock mechanism, because we have the receipt tokens as well. Which should all be aligned on each other and based on each other. So I don't know exactly how long that would take, but they said that it will be probably in 2.5 weeks, and that they will be able to over deliver, but no guarantees. So basically, this is something for let's say the next 2 weeks, and from there we actually that our treasury is going up and more, and we will be launching our borrowing and lending market, which will be a very cool feature as well. And from there, we will be looking at our DEX. So the DEX, I can't put a good timeline or time frame on that, or put a stamp on it when it's coming, but that is basically our next focus after those locker features and our borrowing and lending market.
What about the APUSD?
Yeah, that's the borrowing and lending market. So basically, the APUSD is going live with the borrowing and lending market, and I think that we will be set with 60 or 70K of the treasury. So that will provide a stable market for APUSD, and we are not far away from that. So it's up to the community again. So we will put up another proposal to see if the community agrees with us, and yeah, from there it's go time. We will have multiple partnerships going in the next couple of days, I think. Tomorrow I have a meeting to finalize a partnership, and we are in talks with multiple others as well. We actually were in talk with Beefy, and we don't know if this is something that we want to be doing. It creates really big sell pressure, and we
Beefy?
don't know if the exposure will. Yeah, Beefy. We
It's
don't know if the
not worth
exposure will be
going there
worth it.
until you have at least 1 million in a native TVL. I think so. Even
Yeah,
they
I
talk
know.
about it.
I know Zepmore pretty good, and he will be up for it, but I don't know if we are, because the exposure is probably not enough if you compare the sell pressure of it. So this is basically what is planned for the next month, and from there we are going to be focusing on our ecosystem as a whole, and yeah, we want to create a sustainable and solid foundation on Phantom first before we go multi-chain. So multi-chain is probably not in the cards for at least another 2 months.
Okay. Good. Well, it seems like you know exactly what your guys' plan is and how you want to execute. It seems like you guys understand that in order for a DeFi protocol to survive these days, you have to remain dynamic and you have to be able to change and pivot and make adjustments to your emissions and make adjustments to your ecosystem to make sure that you can survive, because that's what it takes, really. That's why we did something very similar with the protocol we built. We completely gutted the node model and rebranded it and totally changed everything. So yeah, I support what you guys are doing, and I think that if you continue forward with this mentality, once your token finds the bottom, you could do great things. So I'm watching and I'm looking at scaling in around these levels.
Yeah, so basically, it's very hard to make pivots in a project like this, because people actually bought in for certain features that they see or certain aspects of the project that they see, and to make changes, that's difficult for some people because that's not why they invested in the project. So this is something that is difficult for me personally. But it's highly necessary. Like you said, to survive, you have to make difficult decisions, and we will certainly do so. And I'm actually amazed by how much educated people are in our community right now that actually know what they're doing. And I from my previous experience at Astronaut, I see that there weren't much educated people there. So people in our community can put up very, very good proposals and have very nice ideas. And this is going to help us a lot down the road as well. So I really, really, I'm really happy with the community that we have going already.
Yeah, that's a huge factor, especially on Phantom Chain. So yeah, kudos to you, man. I know we got a lot of our guys over there, so they are definitely part of that educated group that are helping to support proper floors and proper game theory for people. So yeah, it's very important. We've learned that.
Yeah, the education is probably one of the biggest aspects, biggest assets that we have right now, because we are getting insights from people that we didn't even think about at first. And yeah, this just makes a project complete right now. But yeah, the proposals need to make sense, and we expected at first that we would get same proposals from people that don't know what they're voting or what they're doing, and we still think that there are people out there that just vote without looking into anything or just don't know what they're voting on. And this is up to us to educate them even more. And with the people that we have in our community, this will make it so much easier because the community will educate each other. So yeah, I want to thank you guys that are actually already in our community that are helping out, because this is great.
When dev, sir.
When dev, I will have a look at my
Every
Telegram.
time I look at the Telegram, no dev. I can't take this anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that soundbite. I forgot.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have Dev that sent a message, but no Dan. So I think he is going to make it. It's already longer than 30 minutes. Yeah, if you have any or any contract specific questions, just fire them at me, and if I can answer them, I will answer them. If not, I will ask them to the dev and make sure it gets back to you.
Blue asked, can you earn Ethereum by locking?
So probably it will be Ref ETH, but we don't know what kind of blue chips and stable coins the exclusive pools will be. So it will definitely be Ref ETH as well, but we don't know when just yet. So maybe it will be Ref Sentiment first, maybe it will Ref Bitcoin or whatever. but it will definitely become Rep ETH as well.
Okay.
Those exclusive pools that we will be having, which is actually the latest step of staking, locking, and then the exclusive pools. That is actually where people will they want to be there. So eventually, this is supporting our 4-4 game theory, and this is why we chose the 4-4 game theory, because of those exclusive pools, and especially the whales are going to like that one.
Cool.
So for that, we need to remove the non-native farms, in my opinion, because they will be benefiting from the non-native farms and from the exclusive pools, which is not good for the project at all.
Yeah. No, I agree. Awesome.
How does an exclusive pool work? Like, you guys are just gonna have it locked for plebs?
No, so it's actually our 4-4 game theory. I don't know if you guys looked into it in our white paper. It basically is the idea of people are able to either sell, stake, bond, or lock. And if people lock, that is the most beneficial outcome for both the investors and the protocol. So we need to incentivize those locks, right? So people right now, you see that you will be getting ASNT when you stake into a pool. And this is something that requires an action to get back to ASNT, right? The next step from going to SASNT to LCKS ASNT, which stands for locked and staked ASNT, will be obtained by staking your SASNT inside the locker. So sounds a little bit difficult, but basically it's really simple. You stake your SASNT inside the locker, and you will get the receipt token, which is LCKS ASNT. And with this LCKS ASNT, you can stake into the exclusive pools. So the only way to obtain the LCKS ASNT is from staking and locking your ASNT tokens. And then you can enter the exclusive pools without any requirements. Just that the exclusive pools will be kept. So to make a sustainable APR, people need to there's a certain cap for people to stake into. So let's say it's $1 million worth is the cap to sustain to provide a 300% APR. If somebody is unlocking and the pool isn't over yet, there opens up a space for people to join the exclusive pool. So you need to wait for people to get out to actually enter.
So it's
And this will highly incentivize.
like the robo farms, stable farms, highly disputed.
Yeah, so basically it will be something like that. But we try to incentivize the 4-4 as much as we can, and I don't know if the robo farms actually have a cap on it.
Okay.
Let's go. There's only so much to be gained, you know. There's, like I was saying, like if there's a reason to be digging in, then we will. But you guys are answering the questions that I needed answers on. You already had the answer. You answered them before I asked them. Talking about dynamically adjusting things and pivoting, and just like, yeah, it's all good. I was very ready to rip you open because it looked like a goose fork, But no, man, I think you guys are doing a lot of things differently, and I think that I'm very interested. So, yeah, very cool. Thank you to my co-host, Pickle Rick. This has been our 18th Investors AMA with Assent Protocol. Thank you, Charles, for coming. And we are going to close this out with the sentiment that we are bullish on the team here, and we're excited to see what they can do and if they can continue to spread their wings in the Phantom ecosystem and kind of dig their roots in a bit. So thank you for coming, guys. This is the TulipDAO, and we are providing alpha for investors, multi-chain. We provide AMA, KYCs, and now we provide audits with our new partner, DeFi Moon. Please come check us out at discord.gg/TulipDAO. Thank you.
Let's go.